down at the old Humber and try for a food cod and what have you. We'll give it a go. It's a bit grim. It's been raining a lot. The tide, I'm a bit later than I should have been really. The tide's going to be about 11:30, I think. So we're going to give it a go, see what we can get, see if we can get any cod. I've got food tricks up my sleeve. I'll see what we can do. I'll just give you a quick pan round of where I am. It's looking a bit grey in the estuary today, in the Humber, but we'll give it a go. We'll see what we can do, and then I'll get back to you in a bit. Take it easy. There then, people. Just using a simple rig today on the first rod. I'll get it in so you can see it. It's literally 4-ounce lead, rubber bead, quick clip. I've just got a little old sprat whisked on there. I couldn't be bothered with this one too much today, so this is going to be a close in one. When I do my other rod, I'll get it all sorted out and we can see what we can do. Right, I'm going to cast this bad boy out, and then we'll see if we've got a catch over. Probably not, but hey, ho, better than sit at home, isn't it? Well, we'll give that a go. There's the old rod. See if we get anything on that. I think you can see the tip, and we'll see how that goes. Now then, people, on this rod got a nice bit of lamprey, if you can see that. 2 hooks, pulley pedal rig, that just comes down to your lead, and what you do is clip that onto your little hook there, like so. And then everything is clipped down with your lead. And when the lead hits the water, where are we? This flies up and releases the hook. Keeps everything, just clips onto your line there, onto a swivel, quick release. And it keeps everything nice and tidy for casting. There you go, that's a better picture. So what we'll do, we'll get this one out and then see how we get on. Yeah, we've got both rods out, and we'll give it a go, see what we can do. I'm no, by any stretch of the imagination, a decent shore fisherman, beach fisherman. I've only been doing it since the beginning of the last lockdown, but we'll give it a go and we'll see how we get on. Well, the tide's coming in now. I've not been fishing that long because I've been talking to a chap who fishes down here quite a bit. Seemed like a nice bloke. As you can see, this is the Humber estuary. You can't see much of it today, but apparently during the Second World War, the German bombers used to come up here through the estuary, follow the Humber down. It runs into the Trent, I believe, in Nottingham, and bombing the factories in Nottingham and along the Humber. So you used to get a lot of German bombers down here and Spitfires and that, dog fights. So I'm sure there's a few wrecks in here somewhere. But yeah, this is the Humber. Let's just hope we catch something. Not banking on it, but hey ho. then people, time for a bit of grub. And a bit of a brew, so we're going to have the old cheese toasties. What have you? All this not moved out of the way, not so. And we know what we're doing. Put the old chair out. Sit behind the car. I'm going to get my cooker out, and then we'll start doing a bit of toasty and a nice brew. Now then, you know what time it is? Toasty time. Find them. Here we are. First things first. Because I've had all that old stinky lamprey, I'll better wipe my hands down first, I think. 2 baby wipes. And then the cheese toast is going to stink like lamprey. To be honest. But give them a wipe, rubbish away. Dry them off. There then. Open that up. Water out. Like I say, on by no stretch of the imagination, the beach or estuary fisherman, not at all. You know, it's I'm very lucky. I live close to the Humber, so it's just nice to come down here. I'm more catching a food cod or something. Well, I'm not catching anything, but yeah, I'm not the best. But never mind. We'll give it a go. Right, let's get that bad boy on. Blow my cup out. You know, if you've never done it before, I'll turn that down a bit, I think. Give it a go. You don't have to spend hundreds on tackle. I think I've got my reels from Cash Converters, the rods was from Boys, and I think the 2 rods and reels together, I think it was about 65 quid, something like that, for the whole lot. You can buy ready-made rigs up from Boys, that's what I use. I don't come down here as much as I'd like to do a bit more, but the thing is, I started this sea fishing up at the beginning of the first lockdown last year, and I brought all the gear, then lockdown came, so it scuppered it a bit. So, but luckily, like I said, I don't live too far down the road, a couple of villages up, so you know, we'll see how we get on. I'm hoping that lamprey is going to pull something in. Thankfully, like nobody's business, got a good scent on them. But I don't know whether the cod are this far up the wall yet. We'll give it a go. Let's check these. See how these are getting on. Oh, she's coming on a tree. Right, well, I'm going to finish cooking these. Then I'll get back to you if we've got any action. I doubt it, but I will get back to you. Well, it looks like the weather's coming in off the old North Sea. It's starting to get a bit darker now, but we'll hold out, see what we can do. The old rod tips are there. Always put a towel on the wall, just save your line and your rods from getting scratched. Although the rods weren't a lot of money. I think there's about 19 quid each from Boys, my favourite shop. But then again, you know, I'm not a big sea fisherman, like, so they do me. After lockdown, if I get back into it, you know, and start to like it, I'll well, I do like it, but get into it a bit more. I'll probably chuck a couple of quid at some newer rods, but at the time being, these are doing me fine. Job's a good one. Well, I've got the second toasty on. Put the coffee mate. With the shore fishing, it's free, obviously. You don't have to pay if you live near an estuary or on the beach. It's free fishing. You don't need a licence. It's just a nice way to kill a few hours. Obviously, you've got to work around the tides. I try and normally do here about an hour up and then an hour down the tide. Like I say, I'm no expert at this sea fishing game, but it's just nice to get out. You never know, you might get a nice cod, a little flatty or something like that. In the summer, you get a lot of smooth hounds around here. They're quite nice to catch, got a lot of sharks. It's just nice. It's even better when you've got your cheese toasties. Like I say, you don't have to be an expert rig maker. You have to let them cook in a bit there. You can buy them ready made. It's just nice to get out. But this weather today, it's a bit funny because the sun's trying to get out over there. But actually coming in from the North Sea, the entrance of the Humber, it's black as night. So we'll see how it goes. But no fish yet. But like I say, if you've never tried it and you thought about it, give it a go. Cheap as chips. You can buy nice little kits from Go Outdoors. They do some nice sea fishing stuff for right money. Always do. I think NGT do some ready-made sea fishing rigs. There's plenty of videos on YouTube about it for learning. Obviously you're not going to learn that off me because I don't know much about it, but I sort of do these videos to show that we ain't all like the what shall I say, the top class anglers, the sponsored boys, and the top carp fishermen and what have you. You know, I was watching a programme the other night on carp fishing. Have a bait though, yeah. That's as far as I'll go. You know, the bloke was standing at the side of the lake with a laptop, sonars, and what's the point? You know, to me that ain't fishing. It's just, you know, it's ridiculous. And also, they was, oh, I've got a jogger. Oh no, he's gone round there. And they was going out in dinghies, putting the bait out, dropping the rigs out, taking the bail alarm off, rowing back to the shore, putting the rod in the pod. When they got a bite, they got back in the dinghy and rowed out to the fish. Well, what's that about? That's not fishing, is it? You know, fishing is where you sat on the bank and you play the fish, you bring it in. You know, it's just, I don't get it, but that's just my opinion. Who am I? But, you know, all a bit strange fishing nowadays. But anyway, I'm bored you now, and I'll finish my toasty and then I'll show you a few rigs. Take it easy, because I know I'm gonna. Now I'm not too sure if you can see that on this near rod. There's a bit of movement there, but I don't know whether that's the tide. I don't think it's a fish. What I'll do, I'll leave it, see if we get any good head shakes on it. But I think that's just the tide at the minute. But we'll keep you posted. Like I said, I'm on the north wall. I'm actually in Stallingborough. It runs from Grimsby, I believe, all the way to East Holton. You can bring your car up, you can drive on. It's a nice place. When the weather's nice, it's nice, but if it's bad, it's a bit grim. So be warned. But this time of year, I think the cod are about. I might be on the tail end of the cod, I'm not too sure. I think they're probably a bit more, I don't know, November, December, January time. I think there's still a few coming out, but you know, even if we get a few flatties, like I say, it's a beast of a place, and if it's bad, it's bad. Like I said, the weather coming off the North Sea, that can soon change. But it's not a bad place to spend a few hours. The thing is, I didn't bring no worms with me today, so it was a bit of a quick decision on whether to come or not. So I only brought fish baits. Normally I bring a few worms and that, and a bit of squid or something, do a few cocktails. But I'm out the house. Bit of sea air. And just over there, you can't see it now, but if I just pan that round, on a clear day, that's Hull. No, Hull is about over there somewhere. And if I pan round, back to this way, lift up a bit, out there is Spurn Point. And normally you can catch all the ships coming in and out, but with the fog, you can't see them today. And this is just a bit of a boffin fact, but you can get an app on your phone, and if you can see the numbers of the ships, you can put them in the app and you can see where they're going, what they're carrying, and where they've been to. Bit of useless information there, but I thought I'd get it in if you're into that sort of thing. I'm trying to get the sun out, it's trying to come out, but I don't think I'm going to get much of a tan today. Anyway, let's get back to the rods and we'll catch you in a bit. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to dip it in my old oil, like so. Hope you're getting that. I'll give that a good dip. I'll take this oil everywhere with me. Carping, piking, sea fishing. It's got normal fish oil in it, it's got halibut oil in it, it's got halibut pellets soaking in the bottom of it, so it's a potent bit of kit. Trouble is, if you get it on your clothes, you have to wash them about 8 times, you stink like an old fishmonger. But we'll give this a go, and we'll whack this one out, and we'll see how we get on. Take it easy. Cast this one so far, because in sea fishing they do say sometimes you can cast over the fish. Now the tides that is highest, so there's probably a few fish a bit nearer in, so I won't knock this one out so far and we'll see what happens. And also, when you're fishing, put the bail line back on, just make sure you've got a shock leader. I don't know whether you can see any of that. Got a 60-pound shock leader onto 15-pound line, just have it go around your reel a few times, because with the size of these weights and the currents, if you get stuck, you know, you're going to snap off. So always make sure you've got a good shock leader on for when you're casting. Don't wrap around your spool a few times, then you should be alright. Also, make sure you got your clutch set nice. If you do happen to get into a big cod, or in the summer months, a big smooth hound, and you've got your rods like that, and you've got your clutch tight, I'll literally take the rod in. So just a little tip there. But we'll see how that goes. Then we'll see if we've got a blank again. More than likely, but never mind. On this near rod, that was one with a little old sprat on. So what we'll do, it might be the current, I don't know, but I'll get it in and see what we've got. And we got nothing. Never mind. Nice bit of excitement, I suppose. No, we got nothing. Well, I'll whack that bad boy back out again. All good fun, isn't it? The sun's coming out now, I can't see now. Right. We'll whack that back out. Sorting up. Put that down there. Set the old clutch. We'll leave it at that. Now then, right, there's that, right, that's a bit better. Now then, tide's on its way out, give it another hour, not a lot happening, but you know, this sea fishing malarkey, it's all a bit, so my old rod tips are, I think it's just a tide, and it's going out here. I'm still learning, you know, all about the rigs and the sea fishing and this and that, but you know, I enjoy it. Nice to get down here, hear the waves. I think in some of the clips on this film you can probably hear the workmen banging behind me. When you're filming you don't realise that until you play it back and hear it. I'll try and edit it out if I can, but I haven't got my laptop yet, so I'm editing everything on my phone. When you're blind as a bat like I am, it's a bit tricky. You've got fingers like sausages, and when you're trying to like dab on the phone to move bits about, it's quite hard. But yeah, like I say, if you live near the coast, or even if you don't live near the coast, if you're planning on a holiday in England, Britain, whatever, give it a go. Stuff's cheap enough. You know, the rigs, I think if you go to Boys and go outdoors, you can buy rigs for about a couple of quid, £1.50. You know, they're probably not good enough for the old beach fishing lads who like do it all the time. They probably want to make their own up, like I do for carping and whatever. But you know, they work. you know. But at the end of the day, it's not as technical, I don't think, as carp fishing, because especially in this estuary, because the water's like, it's just literally like mud. So I think, yeah, you've got to have something with a good scent on it. But I will catch some at one day, no doubt. But like I said in my other videos, it don't bother me if I don't catch no. Back in the day, from about, I don't know, 90 to 96, I was proper carping. I was obsessed by carp fishing. Up until then, I just did normal coarse fishing. I loved to ledger as a kid. I had a little 6-foot fiberglass rod with some little bombs, a couple of maggots. I used to love ledgering. But I was down at a lake where I used to live in Maxey, and I had a little old what was it? It was a Shakespeare ugly stick feeder rod. It's only about 8 foot long, and the tip was like a pin. It's so thin. And I was feeder fishing there, and I had a little coarse fishing landing net, and I got hooked into this big carp. I think it's only size like 14 or 16 up, and I thought, what the hell's this? Anyway, the guy in the next swim, he had a big landing net and he landed it for me. And if memory serves me well, I think it's about £18, an £18 common. And I literally, that was in the days before I passed my car test, because I've always had motorbikes, see. I literally packed everything up, whacked it in the box, put my rod bag over my shoulder, and I went straight down to Shelton's in Peterborough, which is no longer there now, unfortunately. And I said, right, I want to part X all this coarse fishing gear for carp fishing stuff. And this was about 1990. So I got some carp fishing stuff. It's not like it is today. The rod pods were basic. The first alarm I had was about 4 inches tall, with like a little bit of copper wire going across it. And you put your line behind it, and when the fish pulled the line, it made a connection and gave a little bleep light. So we had them, and we didn't have no bivvies. So I just used to use a brolly and a bit of tarpaulin with clothes pegs, attaching it to the brolly. We did a few nights under that, had a few sessions, and then a couple of years later, about 92ish, 93, the carp scene just sort of like went mental, you know. And I spent thousands and thousands of pounds on it. I was obsessed to catching the next big one. I've always tried to use watercraft, like I was saying earlier. I'm not into all this technical stuff. The most technical thing I had was a bait boat, and that was a little green and white thing with a little single hopper on it. I think back then it was 250 quid. And the only reason I brought that, because my mate had one, because we used to do like 3 or 4 days and night sessions, and he rocked up on one session. He said, I brought a bait boat. And I said, what bloody hell do you want that for? And he said, well, he said, I like him. He said, well, give it a go. He said, do you want to use it? I said, no, I don't want to bloody use it. I'll just stick to spodding. Because back then there weren't spod rods. I used an old 12-foot beach casting rod. So he started putting his bait in and that, and his rigs in this bait boat, sending it out to all these places where I couldn't cast to. He caught first fish, and he said, oh, you sure you don't want to borrow it? I said, no, I'll be alright. I said, I'll carry on with the spodding. So he filled his bait boat up, took it out again to near the island over there. Another fish. He said, you can borrow it if you want. I said, no, I'll stick to the old ways. Anyway, after about 6 or 7 fish, like nice carp, like mirrors and commons and that, he said, do you want to go? I said, yeah. I said, give me it here. I said, and I had a go with it, and the catch rate went up. So, you know, there's a time and a place for them. They are a good bit of kit. But if I was going to buy one now, I'd only buy a cheap one. I won't go like, what are these mag catamaran things with sonars on them and all that. I'm not into that. So yeah, that was it. That's a bit as far as I go with technology. Just had a jogger going by. Can't be doing that. It seems much like hard work, doesn't it? I'd rather be sat down here freezing, fucking running in my shorts. Anyway, each to their own. So yeah, and then I got my first bivvy, and that was a Hutchie hypothesis dome, and that was brilliant. I loved it. After being under a brolly with a tarpaulin around it, it's like being in the Hilton. And then I got into a bit more, started taking tellies. If you can remember the little old square 12-volt tellies used to get black and white. Used to have car batteries. Used to watch Jim Davison's Big Break. So let's see how far back it is. And we just used to spend days and days and days, and it just got like an obsession. And in the end, it was just doing my head in. So as quick as a flash, as quick as I got it, I got rid of the lot. And then had a break from fishing for about 4 or 5 years, probably more. Got back into my bikes and that. Did a bit of racing, bit of motocrossing and that, bit of beach racing. And then I suppose fishing's in your blood, isn't it? And I thought, well, I'll get a bit more gear, so I just brought some cheaper stuff. And that's about it really, because I was a dialer man. Everything had to be dialer. I had dialer reels, I had dialer power mesh rods. I love dialer stuff. But now, you know, I was looking for a new pair of reels. I was putting dialer reels on Amazon. And there's that dialer Beziers, whatever they are. That's 600 quid each. 600 quid for a reel. I don't pay 600 quid for a car. You know, this car I'm using now is my sister's. You know, it's ridiculous. So, yeah, that's a bit about me. Sorry if I bored you, but you know, there's me doing these videos and you don't know about me. But yeah, what can you do? Well, not what I'm going to do. I'm going to have another brew, another cup of coffee, another fag. The old rods ain't doing a lot, just backwards and forwards with the current. But yeah, I'm going to have another brew, have a quick fag, and I'll get back to you in a bit. If you're still awake, I'll probably bored you to sleep, but there you go. You can fast forward this bit, can't you? Yeah, then old muckers. Gonna finish my coffee, have a fag, and then pack away. The old tide's on its way out now. I'll tell you what, I need a haircut. Since I had my head injury, I've not been able to get it cut, but I can't do that with it, like a cat weasel. Never mind, keeps my head warm. Yeah, gonna finish my coffee, have a fag, pack up, go home. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll edit it the best I can. Like I say, I've got an app on my phone and I've got giant hands and it's really hard for me. But I'm going to get a laptop at the end of the month, so I'll be able to use the old mouse and what, and hopefully edit them a bit better. I just want to let you know, I've just started doing these videos. I've been watching fishing videos, you know, while I have my head injury, and there is some good ones out there, don't get me wrong, but I'm not into, like, what is it, the big manufacturers, when they say, oh, winter carping, winter doing this. You know, they go to privileged lakes where, you know, you're tripping over fish, and basically it's just to sell their gear. Yeah, I'm not into that. I know I do a few tackle reviews, but it's budget stuff. It's all stuff I brought myself. You know, trying to help people, especially in these times with lockdown. You know, money's short, and if they want to start a bit of fishing, you don't have to go mental. Anyway, I do them because I really like doing them, and you know, I'm not selling don't catch a lot, do you know what I mean? But it's just like a little diary that, you know, there is people out there like me who don't catch a lot. But you know, so don't be downhearted.
you.